This is a new type of show, I think, or maybe just an old one that's making a comeback. Listening to strangers' secrets about suicide and mental health. Seeking secrets. This is a serious topic, guys.
Seeking Secrets is a social experiment where strangers share honest and complex truths. We ask that you treat the participants with respect. Thank you for listening to their stories.
All right. I guess it's the people, getting stuff off their chest, bro. Yo,
Participants
W
with
helplines.
respect. Thank you for listening to
W
their
helplines.
stories.
They put in a few too. A lot of places kind of just put the main suicide hotline, but this is a W, bro. You love to see it. Shout out Jubilee for this, man. Big W.
My ex-boyfriend said he would kill himself if he wasn't with me. I call him my ex because he's gone. I've been feeling grief for 2 months now.
Dang, bro. That's horrible. Was she in another one? I feel like I seen her before. That's horrible, man.
You died 2 months later. She died. I hope one day I can see him again.
I've lost loved ones, and I've also had friends who have struggled significantly with grief, but I can never tell those friends that I'm often very suicidal. I maintain this sunny disposition to hide what I've been going through, but as they're coping with loss, I'm coping with the effects that losing my own life might have on their life.
Oh, no.
I feel her. I don't even know what to say right now.
I sit in the same position as her every single day.
All right, look, I know this is a serious topic. I said it, but I love that she's wearing Rico Nasty merch. She a W for that.
My mom, who has done the most for me, I feel like I can't even tell her how I feel sometimes because
Rico.
the times where
hold
it's
on.
gotten really, really bad, seeing her feel like she's going to lose me has hurt me so bad.
Sometimes
horrible.
putting on a sunny disposition is trying to protect other people, and sometimes it's also trying not to address maybe what's going on with me. And so you use it as like a hiding mechanism for yourself as well as for other people. And
It's probably like a form of escapism too, I would think.
is a dangerous thing to feel kind of that alone. I'd highly encourage this person that they might be surprised if they share how they're feeling with their friends.
When I was like,
And I feel like they're already on like a good starting point because they're aware of, how they're feeling. They're in touch with that. So I feel like what he said was very true, man. W message.
12 years old, me and my two brothers were told that my grandfather had passed away of a heart attack. It was really sad.
Dang.
First death I had to go through. And then fast forward 2 years later, maybe more than that, I'm snooping through my mom's phone and I find her Reddit account. And on her Reddit account, she detailed how my grandfather actually committed suicide. They just told me he had a heart attack because they didn't want to explain the concept of suicide to me.
Dang.
He had died 2 years ago, but now I'm breathing all over again and for something completely different. And I can't tell my family.
It must really hurt because
Dang.
they said they can't tell other people or tell their family. Like, it hurts that they can't
That's horrible.
mourn in the way they usually do.
I would understand why she wouldn't want to tell her children how he actually did it, because I know that suicide is a very hard topic to discuss.
I can't imagine being.
I feel like in some ways it could be valid to do something like that, but I feel like at a certain point, especially 12 years old, you gotta be open with your kids about stuff, man. You gotta be because at the end of the day, they're gonna experience things like that, whether you can predict it or not. You know what I mean? Crazy things happen, and unfortunately, there's a lot of kids who commit suicide at the age of 12, before the age of 12, over, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that happens. I was 9 years old when the first big school shooting happened. That was crazy to me. You know what I mean? But instead of trying to, cover it up or whatever, you got to just be real about this stuff and explain what's going. Exactly. Like if it was a 4-year-old or something, I would get it. They're basically a brand new kid, but 12 years old, they're in middle school, bro. Like, I don't know, man. And I'm not blaming the mom for that, because I guess she did what she thought was right at the time. But in general, I feel like, that's not always the right course of action to go with. Like, you kind of just got to keep it real, because the world's going to keep it real whether you like it or not. So
being an adult trying to explain really big topics to a kid, because what I don't know what I would do. The first overdose, first death in my life, I wasn't told what actually happened. I actually was also told it was a heart attack. It's almost like you have to solve a puzzle before you can grieve when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially when you're younger. For this specific person, they didn't keep that information from you to hurt you. It was to actually protect you.
So I feel like with stuff like that too, though, it kind of just goes to show that some people, and not even some people, most people haven't figured out how to process the concept of death in general, and so then they don't know how to pass that on to their children, because they're still trying to figure out how, death works and how to deal with it for themselves. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of other people are very familiar with the concept of death and they understand how it works, so they're able to tell their kids about it, and then they in turn can deal with it a different way. You know what I mean? That just goes to show like cultural differences, just the way people are brought up, the things people go through, experiences, all that, very different. But I feel like that's what it is, because if there's certain things that happen and you keep that from your kid to try and protect them, that probably means you haven't gone through that yourself for real, so you're trying to deal with it too. So you think the best thing for them is to keep it from them, since it's bringing you down or whatever. I don't know, that's just what I would think.
I've grown up in the Bible Belt my entire life, and earlier this year my cousin died by suicide. Previous to this, I'd removed myself from religion. It's probably been about a year now. When the time came for the funeral, all people could keep saying and talking about was, thank goodness he was saved 2 months before he died. And they kept repeating it over and over and over again. And in those moments, I was so angry, because I know that there were people there at his funeral who thought that he probably went to hell.
That's crazy, bro. And it's back what I pretty much always say every time religion is brought up, man. I rock with God, but Christianity is weird, bro. Like, humans are weird with it, dog.
It's very unfortunate.
So weird. Horrible.
At
a
time like a funeral, for people to discuss things like that, but that may just be their way of coping. Suicide is a very hard thing to conceptualize, especially when it's your loved ones. So relying on faith is definitely something that is an anchor for a lot of people to get through stuff like this.
After I lost my sister,
bro, and I'm not saying that dealing with things like that through faith is wrong. I just feel like in a lot of ways, with most things in general, people just go about it the wrong way. You know what I mean? But that's how they make themselves feel better, I guess. I don't know.
The judgment that I just saw from the church when I wasn't actively going back after the loss, oh man, I relate to that. So,
My 15-year-old brother took his own life 3 years ago. Every day I struggle with forgiving him, because it seemed like a very selfish and weak thing to do.
My dad took his own life 2 days before my 10th birthday. And
that's horrible, bro.
It ripped the family apart pretty significantly. And I remember I had woken up the night that he had passed, and I had dialed his number. I was like, I just want to talk to him so bad, and then I never did. And for the longest time, I was like, that would have made all the difference. I find that I'm angriest in moments of transition. So graduating from high school, or getting a new job, moments where it's like, I wish he was here to see what I'm doing. Maybe it's too easy to say we all make mistakes, because that's a pretty big mistake.
I hope he can forgive his brother, and more than forgive is accept his suffering, the choice he made, and
I feel that.
You know, life's different for everybody, and I think acceptance is like the right path towards peace.
Valid take there.
My ex-boyfriend said he would kill himself if he wasn't with me. I call him my ex because he's gone. I've been feeling grief for 2 months now.
That right there is horrible, bro. Bro, that's...
Someone very close to me when
bad.
I was younger was suffering with depression and was very suicidal, and I was really the only person that knew what they were going through. I had went home and told my mom, because this time it was real. I never talked to her after that. I was receiving messages from my friend about how much she hated me for doing what I did.
If you could say something to your 12-year-old self, what would you tell her?
I would say that I'm proud of her.
That's real.
I lost my best friend from suicide when I was 23.
I like her
I used to
shirt.
do a lot of drugs so I can see her again, and it was just crazy times. After I stopped doing drugs, I kind of forgot about her, and then I think that's better for me to forget about her than actually think about her, because there's no point when she's not even here anymore.
I feel sad for
That's something that, you know, is very horrible, that is common. I feel like, you know, people deal with loss through drug abuse and things like that. And it's real bad, bro. It's real bad. And it sucks that it's a common thing. You know?
Person that they feel like they should just forget about them. That's gonna make it better. I can't imagine just forgetting. Even the shirt I'm wearing, this is my husband's shirt. I haven't gotten rid of anything, and I don't plan on it, you know, to forget anything. You know, my husband hung himself, and to this day, like it's like a little, almost like a video saved in my mind of exactly walking in the house. I struggled a lot with seeing him all the time, and that still happens at times. You know, I'll be driving and I'll look, you know, through my mirror and look into my back seat, and I see him with a rope around his neck, how I found him.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, I wish that I remembered more of the happy stuff, but it's difficult, you know? It's just like there.
That's horrible, bro.
I had a friend who passed away in the winter of 2018, and on the 2-year anniversary of his death, he came to me in a dream. And in this dream, he gave me a really, really long hug. And then he told me, I know that this isn't okay to ask of you, but you could always join me here. I'm always so lonely. And I told him I can't because there are too many things that I have to look forward to. He told me, that's okay, just promise me to hang out once you get here. And I think about that dream at least once a week.
So I actually have so many dreams about my friend. She comes to me at least like once a month, but it's the same dream every single time. And I see her and I'm like, oh my God, Maya, like, where have you been? Like, I miss you so much. And she's like, I've been in school, and she's always in school. I mean, I graduated college almost a year ago. She would have graduated at the same time, but she's still in college in my head. Since she never really graduated, I guess.
I hope that dream fades for her, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal.
I know my husband is happy for me of how far I've come. It's not been an easy one since he passed, but I know that he wouldn't want me to join him just yet. I know my husband is somewhere where his heart is at peace, and I know he's painting somewhere, listening to music, probably Mac DeMarco or Kid Cudi.
Word, man. Yo, obviously rest in peace to, you know, everyone that was mentioning this, but especially because I feel like me and him would have been on the same wavelength, bro. Mac DeMarco, Kid Cudi. Like, I was about to mention Kid Cudi, but
probably a taco.
Anyway, eat a
It's
taco,
really easy to say
man.
it gets better. We need to say that to each other, I think. But it's really hard to believe or to understand that it does get better. Because people would say that to me all the time, and like, you want to slap them. I once woke up in like a pool of my own blood. I remember being a little upset that I woke up. But I'm so glad I did. You know?
Glad to, bro. That's, man, that was intense, bro. Very intense. Like, I haven't seen a video like this from Jubilee in, you know, over a year or so, probably longer. It's a tough thing to deal with, bro. I haven't dealt with anything like that, you know, personally, but I feel like I've seen it enough to, you know, be able to feel for these people. You know what I mean? So hopefully all of them can, you know, get through it in a healthy way. Yeah, it is. It's sad, but for real, hopefully all of them can get through it in a healthy way and, you know, be able to, like that one dude said, accept and be able to, you know, forgive and things like that, and just kind of, you know, not really like move on. I don't want to say move on because that's kind of, you know, negative, but you know what I mean, bro. Just get through it. W video for real.